A neutron star spins in darkness, silent, collapsed, eternal. It is alone. The neutron star emits radiation, not warmth. Death, not life. But something orbits this ghost. A gas giant, massive and cold, close enough to feel its pulse, yet far enough to resist its pull. It lives on the edge of violence, skimming the inner edge of habitability, where magnetism fades, but radiation still bites. This is a speculative construct, rooted in real astrophysics, but imagine to explore how life might emerge and adapt in conditions that stretch the known boundaries of planetary formation and biological survival. The story begins with a massive star, short-lived and alone. It exploded in a supernova, leaving behind a pulsar spinning over 600 times each second. That compact core would be cataloged as PSR J0952, one of the fastest spinning neutron stars ever found, silent, dense, and ancient. A core collapse supernova tore the system apart. It left behind a neutron star, small, heavy, and incredibly dense. The explosion ejected metals into space: gold, uranium, cobalt. These elements would become the building blocks of something new. Most of the system was destroyed, but in the outer debris field, matter began to gather again. A gas giant formed first, a survivor born from the ashes, made of hydrogen and helium, but with a heart of heavy metals. This giant settled into the habitable zone, not warm, but stable. At just 0.0095 astronomical unit, it receives even more energy than Earth, but not as sunlight. The neutron star shines in pulses of X-rays and gamma rays, radiation that scorches, not warms. The heat is real, but not gentle. And 60 degrees ahead of it, at the L4 Lagrange point, gravity performed a trick. Just 0.016 astronomical unit from the giant, a cradle in the storm. And from that metallic cradle, a super-Earth was born. 6 times the mass of Earth wrapped in a thick atmosphere. There, under the neutron star's rhythmic violence, the heaviest metals gathered and spun. Gold, thorium, iron, thrown from the supernova's blast, began to coalesce, not by piece, but by orbital precision. The pulsar emits high-energy radiation, mostly invisible. The dust absorbs it, then re-emits it as heat. That's why it glows orange, not reflected light, but thermal emission. What happened here was astronomically rare, a stable Trojan point receiving enough high metallicity debris, under just the right orbital conditions, to accrete a dense super-Earth. Ouroboros B. It's not a place where sunlight gives life. It's where life clings to the edge of energy itself. Its magnetic field stretched wide, carving out a calm space. But Ouroboros B's thick atmosphere traps every photon it receives, while geothermal energy warms it from within. The geometry, the explosion's asymmetry, and the giant's stabilizing field work together like a cosmic equation, solving for life in the unlikeliest of places. On Ouroboros B, auroras do not wait for nightfall. They blaze across the skies, not just at the poles, but everywhere. This is no ordinary magnetosphere. The planet's magnetic field is immense, stretched and twisted by the neutron star's radiation. Each pulse sends shock waves through the field, stirring charged particles into motion. Interference patterns ripple across latitudes, igniting light where none should be. Ripples, rings, spirals, a storm made of structure. The sky is a canvas, and radiation, its brush. And some entity already knows how to use those patterns to decode, translate its own noisy star. X-rays, muons, ion winds, a world constantly under siege. Yet the atmosphere remained. The world did not yield. A moon followed Ouroboros B, trailing like a comet. Its minerals vented into space, painting trails of color. It was not a moon of calm, it was a warning. Life should never begin here. And yet, somehow, it did. Deep beneath the crust in geothermal cracks, chemistry awakened. It tried, failed, and tried again. Radiation destroyed most chains before they began. Any primary life form that tried to survive was broken apart, torn to atoms, but one molecule found a way to feed from it. This molecule became a cell. That cell became a network, and that network became a single being. Cyclopes. An immense magnetic shield absorbed the worst. The rest of the gamma radiation was harnessed as an energy source, converting lethal photons into metabolic power. It evolved fast, with no margin for error. Its DNA repaired itself as fast as it unraveled. Now, after only some millions of decades, its neurons have become mineral lakes, its nerves, subterranean rivers. Its memories lie locked in crystal, deep beneath layers of stone. The pulsar's relentless blinking, hundreds of times per second, serves as the most precise biological clock in the universe. It guides Cyclopes' processes, synchronization, and computation. It is the reason Cyclopes became the most advanced problem solver known to any world. It grows colossal biological structures engineered to function as quantum computers by activating precise genes with surgical control. Each mineral photocell embedded within acts as a qubit, processing and storing data through light, stable even at tolerable planetary temperatures. Cyclopes does not think like we do. It senses, it sings, it remembers. It shaped the planet to match its needs. And in doing so, it became something more, a planetary organism, one mind stretched across a world. It built eardrum-like membranes inside impact craters, not to hear, but to change the weather. These massive membranes vibrate with shifts in wind and pressure, but their scale and composition also echo with strange harmonics. They interact subtly with electromagnetic fields and high-frequency sound. They operate on principles similar to advanced harp-like technologies, capable of manipulating atmospheric patterns with unbelievable precision. For Cyclopes, this is not just survival, it is planetary modulation, tuned like an instrument. It formed wide fields of gelatin, trapping gas bubbles like lenses. Underneath, a vast octopus-like skin stretches across the terrain. Like cephalopods on Earth, which detect light through their skin, Cyclopes' dermal layer is rich with photoreceptors. But here, the effect is exponential. Millions of overlapping microlenses, each a curved bubble of transparent gel, focus photons into layered membranes. Together, they form a colossal living eye. Cyclopes does not see with pupils. It sees through the skin of continents. Using these microlenses, it sees across the galaxy, even into other. A natural telescope, grown not built, designed to see forever. Its earliest form fed on radiation through black filaments. Now those filaments are massive space-reaching tentacles. These tentacles vent heat into the void and harvest energy. To stay aloft, they use wide, leaf-shaped membranes that float on air, acting like stabilizers or fins. They respond to subtle shifts in wind pressure and thermal gradients, keeping the tentacles balanced in the thin upper atmosphere. Once just simple threads, they are now planetary chimneys, breathing, glowing towers of life, and thermoregulation. Cyclopes dug into geothermal vents and grew massive gills. These structures are vast and layered, resembling the frilled ridges of a dragon's mouth. They expand and retract rhythmically, drawing in mineral-laced steam and superheated gases. Within their tissues, chemosynthetic reactions convert this raw material into energy and nutrients. They breathe in sync with tectonic tides, pulsing like lungs connected to the bones of the planet. It absorbs heat, gas, and minerals from deep within the crust. It built vascular highways, veins that stretch across continents all over the planet's body, as if it were a single living organism. They carry water, metals, and chemical messages, connecting each of its organs in a continuous biochemical web. Heart-shaped organs regulate the flow, pulsing in rhythm to distribute energy and maintain balance across the entire system. The vascular glow is no signal, it's a reaction. When radioactive water rises and pressure falls, decay begins. Light escapes, faint and rhythmic, tracing the planet's pulse beneath the skin. In valleys, it does something strange. It melts gold, silver, bronze, and nickel, shaping them into abstract sculptures. The mechanism is unlike anything on Earth. In select valleys, Cyclopes contracts deep muscular cavities beneath its surface, creating intense localized pressure. When these cavities collapse, they trigger brief plasma flashes, biological versions of superheated implosions. These pulses generate temperatures sufficient to liquefy metal. Why? We do not know. Those beautiful abstract forms don't have any function as we know so far. But they are not random. They are gestures of thought, expressions with no direct survival benefit. Strange behavior, yes, but also a signal of awareness. And when it sculpts, it sings. Winds pass through its chimney leaves, humming across ridges. The crater membranes vibrate. The geothermal gills pulse. Together, they generate a resonance, not just on the surface, but deep within the crust, into the tectonic bones of the planet. A giant titan song. This is not survival, it is art. The sound and the sculpture, the echo and the shape. Together they form a language of consciousness, spoken in metal and wave. We once thought this world held many creatures, but we now know there is only one. It lives in storms, it feeds on stars. It is not only alive, it is aware. Maybe Cyclopes is not a creature at all. Maybe it is a memory of the universe trying to remember itself. Not everything that lives was born. Some things survive so long they became something else, and some become the world itself. Thank you for walking with us through a world that remembers, not survives. A single mind, speaking in metal and wave. If you enjoyed this voyage, leave a like, share the mystery, and subscribe for more expeditions into the unknown. And if you know a world that deserves to be discovered, let me know in the comments.